I want to talk about Kanye West because I like Kanye. I don't know. I know Kanye be doing some shit, but be doing some shit and saying some shit that like most people just can't understand, and it outrages people. I like Kanye not because I agree with everything he says or does. I like Kanye because of his fearlessness. The one thing that he does this that I find very admirable and respectable is he stays true to himself. So many of us pretend to be someone we're not. So many of us are people pleasers. So many of us, we are not who we really are. We do not show the world. Excuse me. We do not show the world our authentic selves. Shit. Excuse me. We are not true to who we are because we fear what people are going to say. We fear being judged and criticized. So we water ourselves down just to like kind of keep the peace, not stir up any trouble, stir up any waves. We just want to get along. I ain't judging it. If that's how you want to live, then live like that. But life is too short to be fake. Life is too short to pretend. Life is too short to be lived as someone you're not. And to fucking be scared of what other people are going to say or think so much that you just conform to their opinions instead of being true to yourself. And so this is why Kanye stirs up so much controversy. He's not doing anything wrong. He's not hurting anybody. He's just expressing himself. He caught a lot of shit over because he liked Donald Trump. I like Donald Trump too for the same reasons. Because Donald Trump don't give a fuck about what people think about him. He is true to himself. Love it or hate it. He is true to himself. And like just the level of confidence and self-love that both of them have is evident because people are constantly talking shit about them, and expressing their hate for them and their disapproval, and they're constantly being criticized and judged and hated. And all they're doing is expressing themselves. All they're doing is showing the world who they are. Like they're being honest about it though. Right? Like I said, when we fake and pretend to be someone that we're not, what we're really doing is lying. Right? We're trying to paint a picture of ourselves that's not even true. Like the picture we paint and show the world is not even who we really are. And I don't know, it's just like most of us are scared to be ourselves because we're scared of judgment. We're scared of being criticized. We're scared of what people think about us. And so I can see why Kanye liked Trump, because they're like cut from the same cloth. They're both authentic to who they are, and they're not ashamed to be who they are. They're not ashamed or embarrassed to show themselves to the world. So, and then Kanye's doing the White Lives Matter. And see, like, what I find interesting about all of this is just look at how hateful we are as a society. Look at how judgmental we are. It's nothing to be proud about. Like, why does it even matter so much that he wore a White Lives Matter shirt? Why does it even matter so much that he supported Trump? Like, you could really dig into this and pull a lot of shit out. But as a society, look at how controlling and manipulative we are. Like, so much so that if someone disagrees with something that we say, we're going to try to force them to be what we want them to be or how we want them to be. You know, people had a problem with Kanye supporting Trump. And so people tried to force him to support somebody else. They were trying to control him. And like, nobody seems to see anything wrong with that. So he's standing up, fighting for his freedom as an individual. His freedom, the freedom to be able to like whoever the fuck he likes. And to say whatever he wants to say. You know, we say there's, you know, I don't know, this thing in America called freedom of speech. I think it's what do you call them things? I think, in the Constitution or something. I think it's one of our constitutional rights. Freedom of speech. There's no freedom of speech in this motherfucker. There's none. There's none. I mean, you say the wrong shit and you could go to jail. You could be punished. You could be prosecuted. Right? That's not freedom of speech. Our society is not mature enough to handle freedom of speech because we fucking cry and whine and bitch and complain and moan and gripe. Anything that someone says that we don't agree with. So, and then it's like everyone has different opinions about shit. Even if you are a people pleaser, like, you're not going to be able to please everybody. The only person you should be trying to please is yourself. And so, I like Kanye. Again, this has nothing to do with, you know, the things that he supports or whatever, you know, like, you know, that's not even taking, like, him supporting Trump and him in the White Lives Matter shirts and, you know, the other, like, controversial shit that he said and done, you know, it has nothing to do with that. You know, it's just his authenticity, you know. It was something else I fucking wanted to say about that, but I'm gonna move along because I don't remember what it was. But it's really interesting, and you know, like, I go through a lot of the same shit because I'm pretty outspoken, you know, like that. like he is, like Trump is. And, people don't agree with it. But why can't we just not agree and move on? I don't have to agree with everything you believe to love you. And if I love you, I will respect what you believe when it's different from what I believe. So what we see in our society, when a person like Kanye, gets a platform and speaks out and, shares that he's supporting Trump and and puts on a White Lives Matter shirt and all these different things. And I ain't gonna say that, but what we're seeing from society when he does things like, and when he's just being himself, is we're seeing hatred. And the foundation of this society is hatred. It's not love. It's hate. And so all these judgments and criticisms and all these attacks, like he said, he was like he had threats on his life for wearing that hat, that Trump hat. Like people were really threatening his life, according to him. So what you're seeing is just different manifestations, different expressions of hate. We live, in a society that is fueled by hate, but preaches love, which makes this a very hypocritical society. I just feel like a person should be able to say whatever the fuck they want to say. And they should be able to be themselves without being hated for it. And people like Kanye, people like Trump, they're operating from a place of love that a lot of people won't even understand. I mean, Trump, and again, this has nothing to do with his policies or him like really as a person or anything. I don't follow politics. I don't give a fuck about that shit. And I don't listen to Kanye's music. I don't listen to rap. That shit is toxic. But so, like Trump, for example, is already a fucking billionaire. So clearly he wasn't trying to be the president because he needed money. He got his own fucking airplanes and shit with his name on them. Right? He wasn't doing it for the money. As he said, he really wanted to help the country. And as, just a successful businessman, he felt like he was able to do that. He really wanted to help. His running for office was coming from a place of love. He want to help people that he don't even know. He just want to help this country and the people in it be better or do better according to what that means to him. And he took on so much like judgment and criticism and just hate. And hey, like he done said some shit, it's like whatever, That's still, I'm not gonna sit here and just, like pick the man apart and every fucking thing he did and all that shit. I'm just saying his motivation for becoming president was love, because he ain't had to do the shit. He was doing it to try to help. And that's the same thing Kanye is doing. All the shit Kanye is doing and saying is from a place of love. Whether you agree with it or not, you have to be able to, like, what is his intent? Like, what is he trying to do? Like, when he was supporting Trump, it's because he knew too much about the fucking Democrats, right? He understood the Democrats are not, especially because Kanye's kind of, like really focused on his people, like black people, and just the growth and advancement and just the bettering of black people. And he understood clearly that Democrats do not give a fuck about black people. That's his view. And that's his view. That's how he feels about it. I don't get into this shit. I couldn't give a fuck less about it. I don't vote. I don't do none of that shit. But that's how he felt. And so he, in his heart, he felt he was supporting someone that would help black people. And, you could criticize it. I mean, everybody got their opinions. There's a lot of people that support or, that feel like that about Democrats. Right? But at the end of the day, it's your opinion. And then there's his opinion. And there's her opinion. And it's their opinion. And everybody's opinion is different. But it's like, why do we hate people and shit on them just because their opinion is different from ours? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, why does that anger people? Like, why does it anger you? Because someone's opinion is different from yours. Because someone doesn't believe what you believe. Because someone won't follow your program or line up with your beliefs. Why can't they express their beliefs? Why can't their beliefs be different from yours and you still love them? Why do you have to hate people because their beliefs are different from yours? That's the shit that I'm talking about. And I like Kanye and I like Trump because they don't give a fuck. If you hate them, they're still gonna be true to who they are, and they still are moving forward in love. And people say, and it's so interesting, like people, we pass all these judgments about people, right? And it's so stupid because so many people have judged and criticized Trump. Y'all don't know that man. All y'all know is what you've seen on the media, and what you've seen is a very, very tiny, tiny, tiny percentage of his life. Like less than 1%, a 0.5% of his life you've seen through the media, which is biased and has an agenda to promote certain propaganda to make you believe a certain way. You don't know the man. You never sat down and had a conversation with him. And like, you just soak this shit up and just believe it because you saw it on the fucking news. Because you saw a video. Like, all of us has done some fucked up shit and, said some fucked up shit behind closed doors. Everybody. Is that the sum total of who you are as a person, though? No. Not at all. It's just, I don't even know, like, what to say about it. Like, it's so stupid that we are so easily manipulated And our minds are so easily controlled. Hey, Kanye, like people all over the world judging him and hating him and don't nobody know him. Like you could listen and a lot, and then, you know, like I said something just a little while ago that I know probably nearly everyone will disagree with. When I said Trump wanted to be president, like his reason to be president came from a place of love. Because a lot of people see Trump as a racist and as a hateful person. But we don't know, as a society, we don't know what love is. And it's so evident in our behavior. It's so clear when a person is not able to express themselves without being attacked and judged and criticized. That's a clear indication that you don't know what love is. And as I said earlier, this society is fueled by hate, not love. And every now and then you see, you know, a person, you know, like the people that are actually walking in love, they're like needles in the haystack. And we don't even recognize it. As a society, if you are under the brainwashing and conditioning of this world, excuse me, then you got everything backwards. And you're going to see shit. You're going to view hate as love and love as hate. That's what it is. Like, and that's truth. That's truth. Man, there's so fucking much that I can say about that. But back to Kanye, you know, that's why I like him. I respect him. And because, you know, and it's I don't know. I don't know if I really have an opinion about it, but it's just, I'll say that it's very interesting to me that we live in a society where we are bullied and intimidated and pressured and manipulated and persuaded and coerced and even forced to fit in, to line up. It's like the freedom to be yourself is a freedom that you just have to be on another level to be able to fight for. And that's what Kanye's doing. And I think a lot of shit he does on purpose, just as a fuck you to all the people that are trying to control him and tell him how to live his life. I think a lot of shit he does is just a big fuck you. You know, and it's just interesting that it's that way. And most of us succumb to that. Most of us are afraid, you know, and I'm starting to feel like I'm repeating myself, so I'm about to end this. But yeah, like most of us are just afraid to be who we are because we allow ourselves to be bullied into being somebody that we're not. Right? And so Kanye is a warrior. He's a fucking warrior. And Trump is a warrior too. And, you know, like I said, you don't have to agree with what they believe or their message to love them. And by loving them, I just mean that, you know, love does no harm. Right? So I ain't going to talk shit about neither one of them. You know, If I see him in public, I ain't gonna throw shit at him or try to kill him, or attack him or, none of that. You, love does no harm. I'm not gonna curse them with my words. I'm not gonna speak curses over their lives. I'm not gonna disrespect them or, speak death over them or, speak hate over them. And that's what I mean, So that's all. So, if you're not scared, let me know what you think. I don't care if you agree with me or not. I'm of that cloth, like where I just don't give a fuck about what people think about me. I give a fuck about what I think about me, And so, yeah, talk your shit, leave comments, like whatever. Just, leave it in the comments if you want to.